one of my endorsers, Wayne Westcott, is a PhD in exercise science. And he's told me, and a number of other people have told me that, when they were getting their PhDs in exercise physiology, there was very little mention of mechanics, very little mention of physics. So when you get a guy who's an exercise science PhD, he often thinks he's expected to know what qualifies as a good exercise or a bad exercise.
Hello and welcome. I am Coach Castle, a certified biomechanics expert, nutritionalist, and efficiency coach. Subscribe to this channel to learn the most efficient ways to maximize your muscle growth and recovery, enhance your body, and advance your mind, all using the latest science. Welcome to Castle's Corner.
Oh, that brings me to another question. I really wanted to ask you this. I didn't know this until recently. I've had my clients send me a bunch of videos about this from Instagram and TikTok, actually. It's people who are using the word biomechanics, but they have no idea what it means, and they're promoting really crazy exercises, saying they are biomechanically correct. And I'm actually going to be doing a breakdown of some of these insane-looking things soon, but the people, they're well-known people promoting these and using the word biomechanics, but they clearly don't know what it means. Do you know about this?
Well, look, I'll just tell you that historically, there's always been that idea. As I said, I've been in the fitness industry 40 years. So, I've always seen trainers talking to a client saying, now be sure that when you do this, you move your rhomboids. And it's like, they know the client doesn't know what a rhomboid is.
Oh, they're just saying words to sound impressive.
In other words, they're using technical terms, even if they don't apply, by the way, and they're trying to do that so that it's a marketing thing. They're trying to get the client to believe that they know the science, right? Mm-hmm. So whether you're talking about biomechanics or whether you're talking about the word bias, this is a quad biased exercise, or you're talking about, evidence-based, or you're talking about, what are the other words they use? Hypertrophy instead of just saying muscle growth.
Yeah, they love saying hypertrophy.
Yeah, look, this is a common thing. It's been happening for years and years where people try to sound more educated than they are. It just so happens that right now, maybe I've had something to do with this. I don't know. It just so happens that, biomechanics is kind of the buzzword now, which, by the way, doesn't mean that anyone who uses it, meaning you or me, that we're also in that category of people using it as a buzzword. I mean, we're using it because look, one of my endorsers, Wayne Westcott, is a PhD in exercise science. And he's told me, and a number of other people have told me that, when they were getting their PhDs in exercise physiology, there was very little mention of mechanics, very little mention of physics. So when you get a guy who's an exercise science PhD, he often thinks he's expected to know what qualifies as a good exercise or a bad exercise. But, what you studied was, the muscle fibers themselves, right? The fuel that works in this scenario versus in that scenario, right? So this might require more protein. This might require more carbohydrate, blah, blah, blah. I spent 4 days with Wayne Westcott recently in Massachusetts. And, there's a huge overlap in exercise science, exercise physiology with nutrition, right? So biochemistry is part of exercise physiology, but mechanics, physics, not so much.
I actually came upon you. I don't know if it worked out in a good way or a bad way, but I came upon you on Rick's Corner at the same time or just after I had been binge watching hundreds of hours of Richard Dawkins speak about evolution, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so it actually worked out great, the combination of the two things, because it really helped me understand the human body. And I actually had several other books relative, not necessarily to biomechanics, but to evolution. And I was, at the same time, it was very, very helpful.
Yeah, I've got dozens of evolution books here, dozens. One of my endorsers is a paleoanthropologist. And, he said that, yeah, I mean, literally knowing our evolutionary history provides us with a blueprint for what is considered natural motion and what isn't considered natural motion. So it's foolish to ignore it. It's like these guys are basically forensic scientists. These guys look at a shoulder joint of a caveman and they can tell you what it was designed to do or not designed to do. Right. So, yeah, there is a huge overlap there in terms of our evolutionary development, our muscle function and our skeletal function and all that. So, but a lot of people don't want to use that. It's